Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors here at Trillium. About 20 years ago, I came across a wonderful Far Side one-panel cartoon. And it really inspired me, it spoke to me. And so I cut it out. And it's been in my wallet for the last 20 years or so. And in the panel, it shows these two devils overseeing the hard laborers of hell. And you can see the sweat pouring down these laborers and the really glum looks on their face. But there's this one guy who's pushing a wheelbarrow and he's whistling away happy as can be. And the one devil's turning into the other and saying, I don't think we're getting through to this guy. Now, I love this cartoon because it reminds me that how I feel on the inside doesn't have to be determined by what's going on the outside of life. Life can be full of craziness, but there's still a joy that's inside of me. That indomitable spirit that can speak in the moment. And so anytime I find myself in hard circumstances, grinding through life, all I need to do is pull that little cartoon out of my wallet and look at it. It'll remind me of this truth. And maybe you've come across something like that in your life. Maybe you've seen some wonderful words and you've cut them out from a newspaper and you put them on your fridge door, or maybe you've cut something out of a magazine, or you've come across a really inspiring picture that you printed, or you picked up a plaque along the way and it sits on one of the walls of your home. Or maybe you've cut out a cartoon and it sits in the top drawer of your desk. Whatever you've cut out and wherever it is, these are words of inspiration and aspiration. They really do speak to the best parts of who we are and our desire, to extend goodness around us to others. And we want to live in a certain way that has integrity and honesty with people, to be truthful, or to meet those hard places with kindness and mercy, or maybe we want to be big-armed in embracing this diverse world that we find ourselves in. And these aspirations and inspirations in our hearts speak to something about who we are. At Trillium, we have 3 banners. They're beautiful banners, huge amount of work put in them. And they sort of encapsulate all that we believe and hold dear in the church, our highest values, our biggest aspirations, our most important beliefs. And yet I think we would all agree that if these aspirations, these beliefs, these yearnings in our hearts simply sit on a wall, on banners or on plaques, or sit on our fridge doors, that they're not really doing what they could do. They need to come off the walls of our lives and live with inside of us. Wake up something that we know is there inside of who we are. See, because that's the deep truth. These words and these images really impact our lives because they do speak to something that is alive in us. Sometimes it falls asleep, sometimes it's awake, but it's there for us. And we want it to be more alive and awake in our lives with each other. And so the great challenge, it seems for me, is how do we stay awake to them? And those trigger moments come to us when we get upset. Say we're in a lineup and it doesn't seem to be moving forward at all, and we're stuck and we're rushed and we want to get moving. And it's easy in those moments for the trigger to get us so frustrated and angry. And we lose connection with our highest ideals and our best self. Or maybe we're driving along the road and we're late to a meeting, and yet we see something on the side of the road that needs our attention, needs us to pull over, yet we barrel past it, forgetting the best parts of ourselves. Or maybe we experience trigger moments online. We see words spoken by people in power that really infuriate us, and we forget about our best self, our highest self. The challenge of remembrance is really tricky. There's so many times in my life I wish I could have remembered to pull out that Far Side cartoon when I was grinding through it. Well, I forgot. Yet my truth and my salvation was sitting right in my wallet. And it makes me think of Samuel Jackson's words that he spoke in those Capital One commercials. What's in your wallet?